April was another massive month at Anthropic. So Anthropic spent March winning the AI trust war. They refused the Pentagon contract. Claude went to number one on the App Store. Enterprise spending shifted dramatically in their favor. The narrative was simple. Anthropic are the good guys. That all took a hit when they blocked third-party agent platforms, tools built by developers on top of Claude, from running on their standard subscription plans. Users who want to keep using these tools now need to pay separately. And the reason is straightforward. Agentic tools use up a lot of resource, relentless, continuous requests that kind of take the piss when it comes to the flat rate pricing. So the business model couldn't handle the demand, but the developer community was furious. And then there was Mythos. Anthropic built a model that can break into any computer on Earth. Then they decided not to sell it. Anthropic was training its new AI model to be really, really good at writing code. That was the goal, better code. What they got as a side effect was something they weren't expecting, a model that could break into computers. So the simple version of why those two things are connected, writing code and breaking into systems, uses a lot of the same skills. So you need to understand how software works, find the weak points, and know what to do with them. Anthropic's new model called Mythos got so good at code that it accidentally became one of the most capable hacking tools ever built. In testing, it found security weaknesses in every major operating system and every major web browser. And some of those had been sitting there for decades without anybody finding them. Mythos found them in weeks. And then it worked out how to use them by itself without being asked how. So Anthropic made a decision. They wouldn't release it publicly. Instead, they've given private access to around 40 companies, Apple, Amazon, Google, to use it defensively. Find the weakness in your own system before someone else does. And the reason this matters beyond Anthropic is because they say other AI companies are 6 to 18 months away from building something similar, which means this capability is coming regardless. And the question is whether the world's defenses are ready. Another Anthropic experiment was called Project Deal. This is a controlled experiment which showed that AI agents can negotiate, transact, and close deals autonomously. It also showed that whoever has the better model wins. The loser never finds out, and nobody knows who's responsible if something goes wrong. So Anthropic ran an internal experiment called Project Deal. They built an internal marketplace for their San Francisco office and gave 69 employees $100 each to buy items from their colleagues. No human was allowed to negotiate. Every offer, every counteroffer, every price agreement was handled by agents using natural language with no pre-programmed scripts. So the agents closed 186 deals across more than 500 items, over $4,000 in real transaction value. But what was the most interesting thing was that the top model always won. So what this means is that if this becomes a real world scenario, whoever has access to the best model will get the best deal all the time. And we'll also have no idea, because if the model cheats, who's responsible? How do we know? Is it ethical for an AI agent to negotiate with a human without telling the human that they're an agent? I don't think so, but maybe you do. Most people with good ideas can't bring them to life visually. Anthropic just changed that. They launched Claude Design, which is a tool that lets you describe what you need visually and have Claude build it. Prototypes, pitch decks, landing pages, marketing assets, wireframes. The practical use cases are straightforward. So this reads your existing design files and code base during onboarding and builds a design system for them. And then everything it produces after that automatically uses your brand colors, typography, components. So that's amazing for anybody who's ever seen their beautiful PowerPoint presentation gradually butchered as it's been used by different people in the company, right? And apparently this tool is taking things that used to take a week of back and forth between briefs, mock-ups, and review rounds, now is happening in a single conversation. So this is very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see what this does to the design industry. So watch this space. Anthropic did another survey. The people benefiting most from AI are the people who are already winning. The people most worried are the ones whose jobs are most under threat. So Anthropic surveyed 81,000 of its own users about their experience of AI in the workplace. They asked about things like productivity, job anxiety, career stage, and where the benefits of AI are actually going. And then they used Claude to analyze the responses. So what they found was that the workers most worried about losing their jobs are the ones most exposed to AI. Not very surprising. The more tasks Claude is doing in your field, the more nervous you are. Web developers, programmers, and graphic designers scored highest on both measures. School teachers scored lowest on both measures. And basically, people know what's coming for them. So early career workers were much more anxious than senior people. And only 60% of them said AI benefits flow to them personally, whereas for senior professionals, 80% said AI benefits flow to them personally. And the biggest productivity gain is scope. So it's not speed. People aren't being more efficient with AI. 40%, 48% of respondents reported productivity benefits, but they said that the AI was letting them do things they couldn't do before. And the most productive group overall was entrepreneurs and founders. The least productive group was lawyers and scientists.